Racism is, quote, more than just an individual character flaw. No, racism instead is a system that you participate in, Mr. and Mrs. Racist, a system that can only be stopped with, quote, bold anti-racist actions and policies right now. Ooh, you know you're in trouble.
There was nothing funny about that.
Anti-racist actions and policies right now.
Nothing about that made me want to laugh. And I don't think Tucker Carlson actually finds it funny either. But he uses this as a tactic to signal to his viewers, I think, two things. One, that whatever was just said should be discredited, it's laughable, and therefore his viewers shouldn't listen to it or internalize it or think too critically about it. And two, that it's so laughable that he doesn't have to respond. He doesn't have to make a substantive argument on the other side, because it's so laughable it's not worth addressing. And Tucker Carlson always does this when someone who is on a show or someone who's his political opponent says something that runs counter to his views, who makes a substantive argument. And the more substantive the argument is, I've noticed the louder he laughs.
It should be no surprise to you that black people, in particular black men, have been taught forever that they have to be careful how they behave around white people, that the way they behave will be interpreted differently, that when they misbehave it'll be punished differently, that if they laugh too loud, if they walk into a nice store. So with all due respect, Tucker, what was true for you has never been true for lots of people.
I don't think that the races are as different as you think they are. You think one is good and one is evil. That's what you said in your piece.
I didn't at all say that in the piece, and if you can cite that, I'd be very happy to see it. But
well, you,
but what I did
said
say,
you can't trust them.
Right? I did say it. No, I did say it.
What Tucker Carlson is doing here, by avoiding having a conversation about systemic racism and instead making the notion of systemic racism the problem, he never unpacks what that means or explains his worldview or why that description is not representative of reality. It's a microcosm of the right's approach to race as a whole. We see them also doing this with critical race theory. Members of Congress and politicians across the country are dismissing critical race theory without ever unpacking what the theory says and why it might be wrong in their view, because they want to avoid people having critical conversations about race in America. And they are so dedicated to this that the party of supposed personal freedom is proposing banning books.
Critical race theory, an introduction. The end of policing and an advocacy for abolishing police. They include How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi. They include literally stacks and stacks of books, and I'll tell you two of the ones that were most stunning. They include a book called Anti-Racist Baby.
And this will do a number of things that are very important. One, it will put into statute the Department of Education's prohibition on CRT.
The far right and the extreme center are both beholden to corporate interests. They exist to defend corporate power in America. And having the general public read and understand critical race theory would really jeopardize that power. Because when the working class realizes that race has been intentionally sold to us as a narrative to divide us, then we can finally come together and stand up against corporate power, and that is the last thing that they want.